What's up, everybody? Today's video is going to be called Negative Self-Talk because that's what I'm going to do. The other day, my older brother told me, and by the other day I mean a few weeks ago, we were having some sort of, deep talk between us, some conversation about just stresses of life, and he told me that sometimes he'll be stressing about certain things and see that I'm, in the position that I am, and I'm not as stressed. And I like to credit that probably to the fact that when I'm around family a lot, I tend to regulate my emotions pretty well, I think. But this is the things that he doesn't see. These are the moments that he's not there for. He's at work. He works most of the week. And 5 days out of the week, I have the entire apartment to myself, basically from morning until night, until he comes back, which is around like 6 p.m. ish, and then he goes to the gym. So basically, the whole day. And it's hard not to get into my head about certain things. I'm the only person in my family who doesn't have a real job because I decided to pursue acting, which is fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. I tried to get a job today. Went for a job interview, right? Scheduled it online through the company site and everything. And it was for a position that I had applied to before. Not position, a store, a restaurant that I had applied to that specific location before. At the time that I submitted to, I didn't know that it was one that I already had an interview for, but it was a different position regardless. So I kept getting reminders on my phone this morning of like, you have an interview at 10:30, and I was like, fuck, do I really want to go? I really didn't, but I was hungry and I've been thinking about getting their wraps because they're delicious. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go. I dressed up, I wore a suit and everything. I just changed. Just to kind of, I brought a resume with me that I use for like another job interview where they specifically asked for a resume. I wanted to show that I was professional and that I really wanted to get this job. Not in a desperation sense, but just like I'm ready. And long story short, the manager, didn't even know that there's an interview scheduled for today. And on top of that, the position that I submitted for, literally, that I had scheduled this job interview for weeks in advance, I found out then and there, right in that moment, that she already hired somebody else, which is fine. But the whole point of planning for a job interview, like, at least I feel like, tell me so I don't waste my time, and my energy preparing for this thing. I really didn't want to go to it, but I didn't want to be seen as non-professional. This is a place that has a lot of great benefits that I want to eventually, hopefully if I get the opportunity, if there's openings, I want to work for. And this is what happens when I showed up. So it's the second time this has happened to me in LA, where I go through and I have a job interview and I show up and the person there doesn't even know that somebody's supposed to interview that day. And I really blame it on AI. All these automated systems that these websites and these companies have, it just schedules shit for you. And, whatever. That's just one part of my stress, but I'm really more upset with myself because I quit my job to pursue this. I quit my steady job, my stable, way of income to pursue this. I moved to LA to pursue this. I basically uprooted myself for no reason. I've not seen one benefit of being out here. I booked one gig, and it has done nothing for me. It's a speaking role, my first ever. It's just a credit on the resume. It does nothing. I've actually seen less auditions since that happened, so I don't know. I just feel like shit. I feel like I'm, doing this for no reason. And I hear people say sometimes God makes us wait for certain things. And I don't know if it's Him making me wait or if it's just that it's not meant to happen. for some reason I keep coming back to it just because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'll have an opportunity to prove myself. But honestly, what would that do for me? Because I'm not happy inside anymore. I love this craft. I really want to get into theater, but I know nobody out here in LA. I miss my acting class. I miss my community in Atlanta. That was the only thing giving me hope. You know, when I'd be down and in my head, and even when I was at home, but especially in class, I'd be around people who were pursuing the same thing, going through the same things as I, or at least close to the same things. And I don't have that anymore. So I have no hope. And I'm just aimlessly pursuing this thing. For what? You know? And on another note, my social media has been doing beautifully, in a sense. I've been making videos talking about certain things regarding, I'm a big fan of BTS, obviously. I've said that in other videos, but talking about them, and recently they, decided not to submit to the Grammys for good reasons. Salute to them. But my Instagram's been blossoming. Like, I've been getting like 100,000 view videos multiple times. And it's funny how at one point I used to really, really hope that would happen again, because I used to create content on YouTube, and I used to get 100,000 views, and that would feel great. And then I'd want to do it again and again and again. And sometimes I'd hit 1,000,000 views, sometimes whatever. But I just don't feel happy anymore. And for some reason, because I guess of my bitterness, it makes me feel sometimes angry, which I don't like. Why? Maybe I'm just not happy with where I'm at in life. I guess, yeah. It's a feeling of helplessness, I guess, is the better word. I feel helpless. And I don't know if there's a way out. So, yep.